Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the practice session that just happened for the Australian Grand Prix in Phillip Island. Now, before we get into it, here's how it finished. Marc Marquez topped it from Alex Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Jorge Martin, Pecco Bagnaia, Maverick Vinales, Brad Binder, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Franco Morbidelli, Alex Rins, Fabio Quartararo, Jack Miller, Pedro Acosta, Johan Zarco, Augusto Fernandez, Enea Bastianini, Joan Mir, Alicia Spargaro, Luca Marini, Taka Nakagami, Lorenzo Savadori, and Raul Fernandez. Now, in typical Phillip Island style, there was always a little bit of drama, and with practice session 1 being cancelled due to the rain and track conditions, there was definitely a condensed running this weekend. With also they're trying a new rear tire, so everything is up in the air, trying to get a lot of work done. This suits Marc Marquez very much so, but Marc did look very comfortable, really good pace on him, and definitely a contender for the race wins this weekend. Alex Marquez popped in there at the last second. While his lap time is good, there was yellow flags for the last 2 minutes of the practice session. So look, I think there's still a lot of laps and anger out there. So I would be very surprised to see him second place tomorrow. Marco Bezzecchi, something similar as well. Good overall pace. Will that be race pace? I'm not 100% sure. Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia, there was a very squeaky bum time for them. They thought it was going to rain. Martin did have a small off, and the rain was threatening all session, and they were outside the top 10, and look, they were comfortably in it. But saying that, I won't take too much notice of their position and lap times, because their last laps were actually foiled with yellow flags. Maverick Vinales top Aprilia, and by a long way, so it is good to see Maverick up there. Not sure will he have the full pace to go with Martin and Bagnaia, but it's good to see him. Brad Binder as well, nice pace, but I don't think it's race winning pace. Fabio Di Giannantonio, again similar. I think he's top 4-ish, top 5-ish if he's lucky. Franco Morbidelli, same as well. Did do it at the death, but saying that on his last lap. But again, I don't think he has that fast enough race pace. Alex Rins, I know we talked about him last week in the podcast, straight into the top 10, with Fabio going in Q1. So good enough weekend so far for Yamaha. Jack Miller was one of the people that caused the yellow flag towards the end of the session. He was in first at one stage, but again, it'll be interesting to see how Jack goes tomorrow. You can never really count him out. Pedro Acosta also was one of those people that caused the yellow flag. I think Jack crashed in turn 6 and Pedro crashed in turn 4. Zarco, looks 0.8 or 0.9 of a second off, which is definitely an improvement for the Honda. Could have possibly got into Q2 directly, but his lap was cancelled with the yellow flags. Good enough for Augusto Fernandez. Enea Bastianini was probably the surprise of the session, just got it wrong and then got caught up in the yellow flags, didn't get to complete his fastest laps. Joan Mir, not too bad, but again, not where he wants to be. Alicia Spargaro, quite surprised to see him down in 18th when you look at his teammate is in 6th place overall. Luca Marini as well, I thought he'd be a little bit ahead of Mir, but he is well behind. Taka Nakagami, same as that. I thought he would be a little bit further forward. Lorenzo Savadori did have a crash also, but was up and walking away. And Raul Fernandez was the last one, which again, I'm quite surprised. Savadori beating a regular race rider, or the future of Aprilia, as he's the only one that has chosen to stay, is quite a weird one for me. Overall, it was a typical Phillip Island drama-filled practice session. But it will be definitely interesting tomorrow to see who is going up, because we haven't seen the full speed from anyone yet. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the practice session? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.